Hi, it's Susan at Seaside Stitches. I just fancied coming on and having a chat. I have been doing it's the Wednesday the 16th of October, so we're midway, so it's just a mid-month catch-up that I'm doing. Don't often do these, but this is one I'm doing. You may notice I've just got just a bit of a support. It's just a cycling glove on top of a arthritis support glove. I've had some injury to my wrist and my thumb, and the pain when moving and twisting my hand about, rotating it, has become a nuisance to me. Now, I've had a very good week with it this week, and I have managed to do some of the whips that I had talked about when my video came out on the 14th. But when I'd done that video, I did it on the 2nd of October, so I have had some time in between setting that vlog up and having some time to sew. So just thought I'd have a little quick catch up about that. But otherwise, I'm just going to talk about me, my life, where we're heading after this. I've mentioned a number of times that we're moving down south, and I've been trying to tidy my room and declutter and things. So talk a little bit more about that. But initially, I just want to say also that what I'm wearing this is quickly becoming my favourite autumn winter outfit, and it is the Simplicity 2247. I've now got 4 of these, and this one it's French terry, this one, and I think I've 2 French terry ones. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. This is French terry. I love to just put on a ready to wear polo neck. I have a cupboard full, all different colours. It's not an exact match to the royal blue, because this is a bit more purpley, but it just kind of goes with it. And I just really like it. I like the fit on it. I like the length of it. I am going to do a video at some point that is just about twirling. So I owe you 2 twirls recently. One I offered it. I promised you a twirl where I had a purple French terry dress on, and I've promised you a twirl with this on when it was finished and I'd done the sleeves. Well, I have done the sleeves now. That is a little secret. Don't tell anyone, because that's one of the things that I have finished as a whip. And so I won't be putting in any twirls today, but I will just do a video of twirls at some point where I tell you what I'm wearing, and this is the front and the back of it, and whether it's any help, whether it's of any interest to you or not, it just makes me smile thinking about it. So my name is Susan, my channel is Seaside Stitches, and that is because I live by the coast in the northwest of the UK. So I am near Blackpool, if you have heard of Blackpool, and I'm only a little walk, 3-minute walk to the actual front, the promenade, the beach, the sea. And I love everything seaside. But we are going to be moving into the countryside, and we're going to be part of a lovely rewilding experiment. Our daughter-in-law is very much, her life is ingrained really in loving insects and small mammals and larger mammals and wildlife in general and birds. And so they managed to acquire this property a couple of years ago, and when we had a really exciting day. We went down and they said, well, we won't be in until such time because we're actually viewing a property. And so when we went, we could let ourselves in and make arrangements and when they would be back and that. And when they did come back, they were absolutely buzzing about this house that they'd seen. It wasn't where they wanted to have gone. They'd just added an extra couple of viewings onto the list of where they wanted to be, and the one that they did want to be, that was nearer to where they were and where they were based and the children were at school, that had suddenly gone off the market. And they were left in a kind of, they'd got an offer on their house, and it was a quirky little house. It wasn't little, but it was a quirky house that they had. And so they were really kind of kick-started into, look, we've got to find something, because we don't know how easy this would be to get an offer again from someone. There was nothing wrong with it, it just had some quirks, and these people liked the quirks, as our son and daughter-in-law had done when they bought it. So they'd gone out to this viewing and they came back and they were a bit stunned and a bit like, oh my goodness, it's got this land with it, or it is on this very large garden that's wilding already. Some of it's meadowland and some of it's all classed as garden, but there is a meadow element to it, undulating and meadowy, and loads of trees, and it's a beautiful spot. It was further out from there where they wanted to be, which is what I said. So, and in order to not disrupt the children from their school that they were really settled in, our daughter-in-law, well, they both decided they would commute them back and forth. So her life has been driving them there early on in the morning, through rush hour, waiting till the school opens, allowing them to go in, then leaving them coming home, and then having to go back, I don't know, setting off just after 2 to go and get them. So our days have been short to be rewilding this property and also to be catching up with all the jobs that are there. There's a land management process going on there, and it's a continual process. So but at the time when they went to look for it, they were told that it was a bank holiday weekend and that it had been on some time and they'd had an offer and they hadn't decided whether to accept it or not, and it was going to be the bank holiday weekend, and they would think about that offer, and if any other offers came in, they would think about those and make a decision on the Tuesday. So this was a Friday morning when they'd gone to see it, and it was, oh, and knowing there'd been an offer on it, it was making decisions about, well, if we could buy it, what offer would we put in? And it was lovely to watch them in action, working together in working out how they could make this happen. So I'm sharing that bit. You don't need to know any more about that exactly, but what happened was they did get their offer accepted, but then there were several months of the people had been in that property for a long time, and they couldn't manage to get their chain working at the other end, and it took quite a while to get things sorted. So they'd missed the opportunity to get them into another school for term starting, should they have wanted to do that, but actually that's not what happened at all. So anyway, so I know I'm going on and I'm going sideways, but I'm explaining the situation. So why I'm telling you about that was, when they did get the offer accepted, Amy said, and an annex has been mentioned between them two. And then it's kind of like, well, we can't bring that up again, can we? It's not our place to say, you know, that annex you said. So over the last couple of years, we've gone and we've visited and we've spent time and we've helped out where we could. Her mum is amazing. Her mum is in Devon, but she comes up and does, she's a really avid gardener, and the way I am about sewing, that's how she is about gardening, and so she's in it and on it and digging away, and apparently one day she'd done 55,000 steps or something backwards and forwards, and to help sort the pond out. And they've reinstated, there was a small pond, but it had been drained before they went into it. So as you can tell, I'm not going to talk much about sewing, so I'll just come back to, yes, I've finished this by doing the ends of the sleeve. That's all I had to do. And this I have got on with, and I have sewn down this placket. If you watched my other video about finish that whip, I talked about that. So this hadn't been sewn, I have sewn that now. I have turned up the hems. Obviously there are threads hanging about. I've got to finish the seams there where they turn in. I don't know what you can see, but I'm not getting it down to show you, but I'm moving on with it now. So I've got the sleeves to put in, the collar's already on, and so once the sleeves have got the cuffs on, I will put the sleeves in. So then that is showing a good chance of it being finished by the 30th of October. So that would be 2 that are finished that whip. I won't be touching this. This needs a hem on the bottom, but as you can see, something went along a bit wrong when I was doing this robe, and I have got 3 or 4 different levels. So normally I would pick this up and put it on my table when when I had my sewing room downstairs. I would pick up my lady and put her on the table, and then I'd get my little thing out that you can level all the hem with. But this roof is too small. It's just a dormer in our bungalow, so it's only a dormer roof, and it's a flat roof, and it's not very tall, so I can't stand her on there, and there's no way I'm laying on the floor to do this hem, and my hand isn't up to being twisted about and putting a hem on, so that one's not getting done. It's just here looking pretty, and I can feel it now and again and enjoy how silky it is. It's the Eco Vero viscose sateen from I call it McDonald's. It's not from McDonald's, and it's not McElroy. Fabric Godmother, yes. So it's beautiful, I like it. And so that's not going to get done. And what I have done is, for my upcycle challenge, I will just show you this. So my upcycle challenge was using a duvet cover, to make a Gilbert top. Turns out I'd changed my mind about the Gilbert top, and I went back to remembering that in my wish list drawer I had a blouse. I wasn't planning on doing this, so I wanted to make this, and I want to make it eventually in some cotton sateen that I've got from Minerva. I think it's called, no idea, something Grove, and it's called Inky Grove, and that's what I wanted to make it out of. I wanted to make that out of that, but I don't know whether it will fit me or not. I've never used it before. I'm following Michelle at Sewing Bunny on her sew along that she's done for it, and I'm following that avidly, and I'm coming along splendidly. I'm not going to show you how far I've got, but I did do this sleeve yesterday. It's not my best work, and it is quite weird fabric, but that is on the upper part of the sleeve, and it just turns, no, it doesn't turn back, it just hangs down there, and it's got this kind of open cuff aspect just below the elbow. So I've got that one done, and I decided only to do one at this point, because if my arm didn't go into it, I didn't want to already have made the other one. So I've got that one midway, and then I'll just show you that bit. Got the collar. It's the first collar I've done with a stand. So I've done that, and I'm coming along with it anyway. I'm pleased with that. So I've got that sleeve to put in it, and I've another one to do, and I'm just doing the front facing. And if you are alert and awake, you will know that's not a Gilbert top, because it's one of these. So I'll be doing a Gilbert top another time, but not before the end of October, when that's due in. I may finish it, I may not. I spent 2 lovely days working on it, and it just started to be a bit sore, my wrist, last night, so I thought I won't push it. And today we just went out to Lytham, and we just had we went for a brew in a cafe, and we had a little chat, and I was working out what I would do when I came home, and I thought I should just do some buttonholes. So I thought I'll do the buttonholes for this. I've put a pin across this. I think it won't be in shot, but I've put a pin across, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but often patterns will put a button, like a proposal of where to put your buttons, or the measurement of how to space your buttons out, but usually not always do they match up to your apex. If you have a button here and a button here, it's going to gape. So if that's been a problem you've had, just make sure that you are putting your first button level with your apex, and then if you have a button there, then you can space them out equally, above and below. And I use a button placement gauge to do that, so wherever one lands, I know that they'll be equidistant above or below where I want them to be. It's a lovely little device that I find that very handy. So I thought if I do the buttonholes on that before I get round to doing the sleeves, I've less pull on whether it's going to be staying where it's put or not. That's my plan anyway. We'll see. So I'll just come back to what I was talking about now. So yes, I'm cracking on, but just in a gentle way of doing these whips and seeing if I can get this upcycle blouse done, because it would be good if I can find out the fit at the moment is okay, but once it's all put together, I'd like to know how well it does fit me so that I can use it. I mean, once it's all pressed and everything, it should be fine to be used as a shirt on its own, not just a toile that I'll whiz in the bin. But anyway, I'm pleased with it so far. So I'll just go back a bit now. So anyway, in more recent months, we've had, sorry, a seagull just bashed right onto the gutter, not into the window, but so there's a gutter just on there, and they live on the top of here, and they will be plonking about and having a dance in the puddles on the top of the flat roof, probably any time now. So over the last few months, we've tightened up this idea of, yes, they do want us to go down there. Yes, we would like to do it. How will that work? What will that be like? Now, we'll go into some detail. You may not be interested in this, but I am going to be slanting my my channel or starting another one when it comes to moving, because at the moment we're going to be moving into a log cabin. The log cabin will be built on site. It comes in a kit form. The people who provide the log cabin have all their own team who come and, I'm going to say, dismantle it, assemble it, and then it's up to us to fit it out. So we have been working hard on doing the IKEA kitchen design plan, using the IKEA kitchen design planner. We have put in 9, we think we've put in 9 kitchens. Oh, when I say we, I mean Alan, with some help from me, but he is the tradesman really. And yeah, we've moved several times. A couple of places were rented, and I was working that they were attached to the apartments were attached to my job, so we didn't take those kitchens out. And we did an extra one because we did up Alan's mum's property after she passed away, and we also did another one with our son in his first flat, because 4 flights up on a tenement building. Oh, yes, carrying all that stuff up. Anyway, so we put a kitchen in there with him, with him, which when he met Amy, she's very handy indeed. So she did a lot of finishing off there, tiled it, made a lovely job of it. So between us, we know that, and she put in the kitchen that they had in the little quirky house. So, and she did a really good job of that. So she has offered help that we can do these jobs together. So we're quite excited, but it's going to take time. So it takes time because it doesn't need to go through full planning because it is classed as a mobile home. There's another story to that, but it's legally classed as a mobile home. And so there is a planning aspect to it, which could take 8 to 12 weeks. And we're partly through that, moving on into that portion of time. We need to sell our house before we can put a deposit down for it to be ordered and then arrive. And so there is 8 weeks in that time. So when I say we're moving, we're looking at Easter onwards, I think, by the time we've everything sorted. So although we've had to do a mad dash rush round and get, obviously this is not as it should be, get my sewing room and the rest of the house ready to be able to be marketed. We've had to know where things are going to be and where they can't be. But to set it out so that it can be marketed, first of all we had to do that and dress it and minimise it and everything else we were doing, so that we could get an evaluation on it, because you want it to be presented as well as it possibly can be. You don't just go sort of get up one morning, shove your covers over the bed, put a couple of coats away and ring someone up and says, do you want to come and value our house and how much would you sell it for? You have to have it as pristine and as kind of marketable as possible, to get the best idea from the agent about whether it's saleable or not. And so we've done all that, and we've had the valuations, and we've had a counter valuation and decisions and costings and everything. So where we are now is in a bit of a limbo place, and it's exciting because we're planning our final move, really. And as I say, we've moved a lot of times, and we had one other option that meant we wouldn't be that would have been a fully furnished caravan lodge, and we've moved away from that. But that would have meant that would have been a bit more out of our control on how it was furnished, and the built-in units not being where we would want them and all that kind of thing. And whereas with this, you've got we've an empty shell, and we can work out which furniture we can take. Now this has been taken down a couple of times and rebuilt, and we don't know how many more times you could take the back off and put it back on again without it all shredding. So some of the furniture we will be donating or selling on or passing on to someone, and some of our furniture we will be able to take because there will be room for it. But in the meantime, we still have to minimise a lot of stuff that we have. We've now, at another time, I'm not doing it now, but we have cleaned out a very filthy shed, shamefully filthy shed. I mean, it's a shed, but it's a garden shed with paint and tools and an extra freezer in it and a tumble dryer, but oh my god, it was filthy. So we've cleaned all that out, and we've cleaned out the summer house, which Alan also uses as his art studio. Now, another thing I'd like to talk about, in previous videos quite a while ago, I've talked about Alan and I. I'll just check this video is recording. Oh yes, so Alan and I, we've been together 52 years in a fortnight. No, in a month. Yes, we've been married for 52 years in 1 month's time, and we kind of just rub along quite nicely together. We still are what I would say is very much in love. I talked to Teresa on Lost My Thread when she was talking about her 20th wedding anniversary, and I didn't talk to her. We exchanged comments on her channel, and just that how lovely it is to be with someone and to still be with someone and still feel the love and the respect and the care and concern and the joy of being with that person. And we both feel, Alan and I both feel incredibly lucky that we still have that, and are very, very aware that other people that we knew around our time don't have that anymore, for many different reasons. But so, well, I'll just tell you anyway. What we're playing now is, I'm 71, Alan is 77, and we are just playing at staying alive until we actually can move. It's just, oh well, we're still here. Let's see if we're still here. We just want to stay still being alive, as I'm sure you do. You know, we just want to staying alive. But the older you're getting, the more neither of us are really into, oh well, we're old now, we can't do this, can we? I can't wear all these bright clothes. I can't have my hair down my back. I have made a tentative decision that I'm allowing my colour to grow out, but that's not because I feel like I'm too old to have it. Ginger. I was a ginger nut. I grew up as a ginger nut. I was patted on the head by elderly ladies, even into my teens really, and saying, if they were tall enough, oh, I love your hair, isn't your hair lovely, and all that kind of things. And anyway, doesn't matter really. Oh, but I often did get, because I had that golden ginger rather than the carroty ginger, and people would go, oh, my daughter-in-law has ginger hair, but it's much yours is much lighter than hers. It was so like as if there's something wrong with mine. Oh, but yours is more and some people would, if I mention that to people, they go, oh yes, strawberry blonde. I was not strawberry blonde, I was a ginger nut. And it would just bring the usual sayings of, oh yeah, they left you outside all night and your hair went rusty, and well, where'd you get your red hair from? Your dad's not got red hair and your mum's not got red hair. And my dad would say, oh well, milkman had red hair, but the coal man never took his cap off. So things like that are just, it's ingrained in me that I am ginger, and it's very strange to find that I'm grey with ginger, but I am, it's not a surprise, I know I'm grey, but my margin isn't too bad, given that the sun has bleached away quite a lot of the colour, the box colour talking about, not my colour. Anyway, so we don't have kind of age rules. I am very much influenced by the 70s, so my channel could be called 70s Sewing, because I'm in my 70s and I sew a lot of things that are like I wore in the 70s. The 80s was quite a blip for me. As a newish mum, we were given, the shops had awful polyester jersey kind of stuff that were elasticated waists and shapeless and horrible, and so I'm so not into like the spring dress or the whatever, the things that have the Lotta or something, things that have got elasticated, and oh no. And I like kind of a really fitted. I don't mind this. I don't mind bagginess around here. I don't like bagginess in any way, shape or form. I don't like oversized. I don't like armpits that are hanging down here. I don't like lots of things like that. But I love, this is a Simplicity 2247. I probably already said it. I have 4 of them. This is in, it's supposed to be in woven. I've got 3 of them that are in jersey. Yeah, 3 of them are in knit. This is the sleeve that I used the cuff from the cardigan. I used the cuff from the Harper cardigan, and I used the sleeve from the S8875. And I have 3 dresses in the 877 the 8875. Yeah, the 8875. I have 3 of those. And I like the thing, the under the bust, I like the thing, and I have a Yasmin dress, Simplicity patterns, Sinclair patterns, Yasmin. I love the Yasmin dress. Again, it's got bust shaping and then a wide band here, and I don't like gathered skirts that are from my waist outwards, don't suit me at all. I just like figure hugging things, but not, I don't want them going out, going in, because I want to move about freely. Don't want to be like shuffling about. So this is just me waffling on, and just because I fancied doing that today. So what I wanted to say was, I keep going on about, oh well, we're moving, you know, or when we move, or when we do this, or when we do that. That's what's happening. That's where we're going. It is kind of in the valley. If you know Dunstable in Bedfordshire, there are Dunstable Downs, which are known for kite flying and gliders going across, and it's just generally a beautiful countryside area, and you can look down into this big valley and pick out certain trees from this building and that farm and that another, and we will be living down there somewhere. We are down there. So it's not far from Whipsnade Zoo. So there's lots of things that I will want to be getting involved in that area, and we're really looking forward to it. So as I say, we're in a bit of a limbo land at the moment. We've not put the house on the market just yet because the ifs and buts about the planning, the minimal planning thing, and we're just trying to, it will really help me to get as many of these whips finished, and then I've not got bits of this here and bits of that here. So I think I'm coming to a slow stop now, but basically we're on the edge of going to be on the edge of this field, where the plan is the family plan, not the family planning, Amy's plan, and the plan for the land is to build more shrubberies, because so that it's less of a wide open space. Yes, I was saying, so she set up a massive bug hotel made of pallets. It's amazing, and allowed it to rewild itself, let the grass grow and just do what it was doing, and discovered how many species of meadowgrass there were, and she counts all the caterpillars, and it's just lovely to kind of be on the side of that. I don't know any of that stuff, but it's lovely to see the joy she has in, what do you call it, just in collecting the info, in visibly seeing the things, that being able to name the butterflies and what kind of plants, what kind of the natural plants there, encourage the caterpillars on them, and it's just another different world that is quite exciting for us. And also she's got two growing boys. They have got two growing boys. They are all four of them Lego fanatics and have a Lego cabin. A Lego building cabin. And yes, so we're looking forward to that. And because they're so far away from us, when you live in the States, obviously it must sound ridiculous when we say, well, it takes 4 or 5 hours to get there by car, when you've got people in other states and across hundreds of miles, thousands of miles, whatever. But to us, it's a long way. And I think I've come to a natural kind of little burnout now. And I hope you're getting on with your whips. I hope you're having a great time sewing. I hope you can shut out this silly rain that's come back again. It's really weirdly warm today, so whether that's going to affect the skies or not, I've not been up late enough to see whether the northern lights were around here, but they have been, and I've got friends who've seen them, who don't live far away. But I know our David and Amy have seen. I'll say David was in bed. Amy has got some amazing photos of the blues and the turquoise, very much like this dress, of the greens and the blues and the pinks. Oh, just amazing from where they are, because they've got quite a vastness of sky around them. So yeah, lots of things to be looking forward to, but we're doing little goodbyes at the same time. So we're visiting places that we've known for a long time, that have been our places. And oh, sorry, I went off at a tangent, as I often do, but I was saying about Alan and I, and it's just lovely that we both respect each other's hobbies. So Alan is an artist. He likes to do, he'll do physical art using paint and drawing, and doodle art while we're watching TV or whatever, and then translate that into computer art, where he's working on the computer, not getting a program to alter it for him, but for him to work on it, you know, turning it, mirroring it, twinning it, all sorts of things, sitting, colouring it in with the mouse, and oh, it's just lovely to see him as occupied as I am. And also he's making different, well, they would have been they would have been cassette tapes, weren't they? Playlists, playlists on a, but it's not that now, is it? So we have SD card, XD, whatever, SD card for the car, so that we've got different playlists. And he's very influenced by the 60s and the 70s music. As I say, he's 77. He also loves prog rock and has kept up to date with upcoming prog rock bands, but is a very big fan of Yes. So anyway, that's us, and I'm going to leave it there for now. And if no one has watched this video, well, blinking it. I've done another one that nobody's watched. Karen Marie, I watched Karen Marie the other day. She took us for a walk. She was walking through the forest and just having a little chat, and she was talking about her numbers dropping and not sure what that's about and how she can improve her channel. And I haven't done it yet. I wanted to say, leave your channel exactly as it is. You're absolutely wonderful. Your work is wonderful. Her posts are very interesting. She's very accomplished at she's just made some amazing jeans in a little collaboration with Rachel from the French Seams. But there's nothing wrong with her channel. Things change on YouTube. Sometimes someone just appears on YouTube and they have got 40,000 subscribers overnight almost. And some people like me, that was another thing. It is my 4th year anniversary on YouTube. That's why I thought I'll just come on and just talk about it. Yes, it's 4 years since I started my YouTube channel, and I've no idea why I started it. I don't know what my aim was. I'm not monetized. I have no intention of becoming monetized. I am completely independent. I'm not an affiliate for anyone. I don't do adverts for anything. I may recommend a small business or something, but I don't do paid adverts. I don't expect anyone to donate any money to my channel. I do have expenses. I got a gimbal, and I got a better got a better quality phone just for the filming. And yes, I haven't set up a Ko-fi account yet, but I'm very happy to do that eventually, and would acknowledge that it would be lovely if people wanted to use it as a virtual tip jar, which is what Izzy from Dizzy Quilts and Sews has. She calls it it's a virtual tip jar, and I'm fine about that, but I don't feel like I want to feel you should be obligated to pay me for doing my videos, because I get so much out of doing my videos, and I don't need you to be paying for my fabric. I don't need you to be looking at my wish list in a patterns. Some people, Amazon. I have nothing at all to do with Amazon at all. I think it is the most vile business model in the world, and it's surpassed by Temu now, isn't it? But I have nothing at all to do with Amazon. The death of all our high street shops has everything to do with the fact that people are absolutely obsessed about buying things online, however they can buy them online, and absolutely mostly buying online via Amazon. And their employment rights and regulations have a lot to be desired, and I want nothing to do with them. So normally I do this rant on several of my videos. I get part way through and they go, oh, and then Amazon, and I have a really good rant, and then I just edit it out, and you'll know whether I've edited it out, whether it's in or not. And this time maybe I haven't. Thank you for being there. If you'd comment, I'd love to know where you're watching from. That would be really interesting to me. I'd love to know that. I'd love to know if you have your own channel. I'd love to know if you have any interest in knowing about rewilding. And we wouldn't be becoming self-sufficient, but yes, she has a veg beds. Yes, she has a greenhouse. Yes, they have a log burner. Yes, they have plum trees and blackcurrant, blackberry, massive area of brambles, but you can't get in to get the fruits because it's so unmanaged. So again, it's that's what I was saying about rewilding. If you allow things just to wild themselves, that's not exactly rewilding, because they just choke themselves they just choke themselves up, really. So there's got to be a plan of rewilding, which sounds quite weird. How can that be wilding then? But there are some areas that you can offer to be wilded, allow the wilding to just take place. But if you're doing that on a full 2 acre span, it becomes really quite choked up and thistle bound. Anyway, what do I know? I'm going to love you and leave you. I appreciate every one of you has ever watched my videos. I am just, as I say, I'm a woman of a certain age. I love my bright clothes. I'm known for wearing bright clothes. You're not going to miss me anyway. You won't miss me. If I walked down the street, you wouldn't miss me. But what? And if it's that awful thing where people walk behind you and think 19, you may look 19 from the back, but when you turn around you look 69, so they just sort of go 1969. Well, that's a compliment to me because I'm 71, so unless they say 1975 then I'm not upset. Okay, we're going on a trip. It's a bit wobbly, bit bouncy. Crossed over the turning circle. Going up the hill. A few little dancing butterflies on the ground, wending our way to this space that Amy cleared. Yes, no, 2 days ago, which shows a flat-ish space, as in no grass high up, which is 20 foot wide by 40 foot long. And who might be going there? There you go. Right, bye for now, lovely people. Boing. That's what I do for my grandchildren. Bye.